It's really gorgeous to be here with you, and I had a walk around at the break just having a proper look at you all, because once you get up here you can't see properly, and I just want to sort of commend you on how gorgeous you all are, actually. So it's just really nice to have such an attractive audience. You know, thank you, I applaud. And this thing happens, I make these notes, I do this post-it note system thing, and then it kind of dissolves in front of me, and I don't know what I'm going to say. But Fennel has inspired me so much, and what we've heard tonight, and Nicola just now, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm in a safe place here. And it's, in many ways, it's that I kind of want to lean into. What I'm more interested in than providing information or talking about something is our experience. And our experience is continuous. Our experience is now. You heard this word a lot in the last 20 years, the word now, and presence and such like. And, you know, even just listening to Nicola now, you can hear that we consider presence as an act of doing more than an act of being, that there's something to be done. So I want to introduce you right at the beginning of this, and I don't know where we're going to go with this, quite honestly. So when the 12 minutes is up, they're just up, basically. To a simple way that I've been working with my own students of late. And I'm very fortunate that I get to work with many, many thousands of people, sort of online and so on, sort of around the world. And the recordings really help as well. So what I've been asking people to do recently, because we think, you know, like we hear the word like meditate, for example. So say this was a meditation class, which it's not, of course. The minute you hear a word, you lean into what you've read about it, or what you've heard about it, what you think it means, and then you try to project into that. And it's very much like how we live our lives, of how the past, we look at the past and therefore create predictable futures by projecting forward. And most of our lives work out exactly as we think they're going to work out like, because that's what we're thinking, you see. And you can't outthink it. You know, Einstein said that you can't change something at the same level that it's being created at. So we need to come to another place. So what I invite my students to do, and I'm inviting you in this moment to do, is not to make an egoic effort. But I would invite you to see if you can allow this moment. Can you allow yourself to be here? Now, immediately, you're probably going to feel your mind kind of take over and an effort being made in some way. So once you feel that effort, all you've got to do is back out. You back out from the effort. You make the non-effort. You know, the Buddha, not a great fan of Buddhism myself, even though there's Vajrasattva here. It's a long story. Oh, the trauma, right? But Sue will attest. Sue Fox down here. We're survivors, aren't we, Sue? And God, the things we survived. And one day I will tell that story very properly. So there's this idea of non-effort. So the way that we can meet that is notice the effort that you're making and just see if you can just back off a little bit. And just notice how that is for you. Can you allow yourself to simply be here in this room? The reason that I'm introducing this to you, and I just would like you to not do that for the rest of this 12 minutes. People have this idea of spiritual practice or meditation as doing something for like 20 minutes, meditating for 20 minutes. We're going to have, you know, sex for half an hour or whatever, you know. And so it's not a case of doing something for a specific amount of time. It's this non-effort of being and allowing it to take as long as we would like. You know, so if you want to meditate for 20 minutes, you allow this unfolding of the moment. And of course, you're aware of your mind and you're aware of your emotions and you're aware of fear and the past and all that. But what we don't realise most of the time is that we're living in things. We're living in those things. And that's what's getting in the way of our juiciness, you know. The thing is, presence is damn juicy, you know. Authenticity is juicy, and you can't do an act of authenticity. I've heard people acting authentic a lot, and in the game that I'm in, believe me, you know, people act authentic at me all the time to show me their spirituality, you know, and I'm like this, you know, like somebody's just read me a profoundly bad haiku, like that. So, which is really good. Just if you're ever worried about kind of a proper reaction to somebody, just hear a haiku and go inside yourself. So it's this non-effort, this dropping back that allows for our authentic heart to kind of come into existence. And the reason that I'm telling you this, the reason that I'm talking about this, is because my whole life, I didn't set out to be whatever this is. This is it's not an accident, it's just a side effect of living this human life at this time, this being living this life. I just feel absolutely ordinary. And yet, I can't help but be a human being. I can't help but love us. I can't help but see how separate we are from each other all of the damn time. And wonder what we can do about it. And see that every solution that people offer through a dualistic system of this is and that's just never brings us into any kind of wholeness. And yet that duality that we're talking about only exists with this wholeness behind it. The wholeness is already there. It hasn't gone anywhere. We just got to back out, you know, not as an egoic effort, but back out. And something I've observed, nobody here, of course, I'm sure, so I'll just talk about as if I'm talking about me, but I'm not talking about you, obviously. What I've noticed my whole life is people not being with each other, missing each other. I know people who have been married or in relationships for 30, 40 years who have never met. You see them in restaurants, you see them on buses, you see them on trains, you see them in the bar. You see them talking endlessly. You see them interested in things, you see them engaging in culture. But they've never met. All that has ever met is their ideas of themselves. And we go around looking for each other in ideas all of the time. And this is not to problematize us, it's conditioning. It's the way that this society and this culture is operating to turn us into somebodies. And we need to get away from being somebodies to being just us, just me, just you. Naked. You know, true spirituality is naked, baby, which is just absolutely beautiful. We have to kind of be naked with each other, with authenticity, with our awareness. And where I want to introduce awareness, this is not what's on the piece of paper at all now. I want to, again, this is not information, I just want to introduce you to something. How are you getting on with the effortless effort? You still here? Or have you just noticed where you are? And, you know, has the idea taken up, oh my God, this guy's crap, isn't it? You know, the voice in the head, or, you know, oh really, you know, I really should have put that lasagna out of the freezer before I came out. And that sort of thing, you know, that's where we live, in those things. And it's nothing wrong with that. But when we actually allow for this moment, then we just can be here, and all of that can be attended to as well. But we keep projecting forward. So all we need to do, if we're missing each other, is we need to introduce another thing into our relationships, basically, and that's awareness. When, this is a visual thing really, but when, let's just call it two people, I know there are many modalities and how enjoyable they are, but you know, just in the basic model of 1 + 1, what we tend to do is our ideas meet another set of ideas, and we hope that those ideas mesh or add to each other in some way. And then we spend our lives kind of looking through those ideas at each other, kind of face to face like this. And we expect the other to be the answer to the things that we're seeking, you know, the loss, the pain body, and so on. And yet, if we were to turn, you know, authentically just drop it and turn just slightly like this to be at kind of 45 degrees with each other, and put awareness here, make ourselves responsible to awareness as a kind of an overriding thing, then we have a third person or a third aspect in our relationships. And that will always kind of see us right, because then we serve our awareness, sort of through the heart, as it were. So I want to just kind of offer you that. That's kind of something that I'm seeing more and more that we need at the moment. So I think my time is kind of heading away quite quickly. So I just want to go back to... 2 minutes, thank you. You're doing that so beautifully. 2 points. Just going back to this being here, because I'm not really, as I say, not that interested in talking in a way or providing some information. I only just want to introduce, let's be authentic about our nakedness with each other and awareness introduced into our relationships, because otherwise all we've got is living through ideas with each other and we never meet. And we're worth so much more than that, you know. And sexuality is great because it is a place that we break that down for a moment here and there. But I want more than a moment. I want to be seen, and I want to see you, and I want you to see me. You know, I want you to know that you've been seen. And we can't do that through this fucking realm of ideas all the time. And information. We're not information and ideas. And not everything is to be added to ourselves. So I want to go back to just you being here in this moment. Just allow that feeling in your body. Allow yourself to feel your bum sitting on the chair, your feet on the floor, and the space of this room around you. And just allow that. Just allow yourself to actually be here with each other. And I would invite you in this last moment to simply look at the people next to you. Just actually, in being, look at the people next to you. Even take their hand if you want to. You know? Just allow yourself the intimacy of the moment with each other. Welcome to church, ladies and gentlemen.